I'm going to show you how to rank position 1 on Google by leveraging my AI strategy without having to spend a penny on backlinks. The site we're going to look at today is this one, Off-Grid Living. It's not one of mine, it's just a site I've picked out. I'm actually going to send this video to them afterwards because this will be a really high value SEO strategy for them. But they are like most of us. They have a site that does not have a god tier backlink profile, okay? They've got a domain rating of 12, 281 backlinks, relatively modest profile, so they are not playing on easy mode. They have not got a position where they can throw up any content and rank for really competitive keywords. So they, like most of you, need this strategy in order to rank for commercial terms. So here's the problem. Most sites like this will decide they want some organic traffic, and why wouldn't they? That's where the money is. And they sell solar generators. So they'll decide to do some keyword research. They'll come in and so they'll put in solar generator to whatever keyword research tool they use, and they'll decide they want to go after this. They'll see this 51k in search volume and think, wow, that'd be juicy, that'd be worth a huge amount. The problem is, if we look at what's currently ranking for this, look, DR 78, 96, 85, 51 with 1,000 backlinks, and then a 76, okay? And then we go all the way down to the bottom, we're still looking at 90s and 95s. For a site like this, with this domain profile, to rank for a keyword like that, dream on. Not unless you've got 100,000 to throw behind a backlink campaign. There is no salary cap in SEO, unfortunately. The big dogs can pay big money for backlinks and they can play on easy mode. Meanwhile, we have to come up with a better strategy to moneyball our way to position 1. Luckily, that's exactly what this is. So we're not going to fight the big guys with deeper pockets head on. Instead, we're going to pick our spots. I'm going to show you how to do that with keyword research, okay? So we're still on solar generator, but we're going to come to related terms. That's all the terms you can see, 1,300 keywords here, all related to solar generators. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my intent. I want commercial, transactional keywords that are going to lead to sales. I'm not interested in branded right now, nor local search terms, okay? But this is really important. I'm going to choose the lowest DR in the top 5. So if we come back to our example of solar generator as a keyword, we know it's super competitive, and the lowest DR in the top 5 is this one here, 51. And as we said, no chance, okay? So what we do when we're researching our keywords, for this site, DR of 12, let's go for 15, okay? Well, I'm only interested in the keywords if there's a DR 15 or lower in the top 5, because that shows me that I have a reasonable chance of ranking. Let's have a look at the results, okay? Right, cheap solar generator, off-grid solar generator. All of these are relevant keywords for my business that I could go after organically. Obviously, the search volume is lower, okay? Traffic potential on this one's 1.1k, 23k up here. It varies, okay? Let's have a look at this one, off-grid solar generator. I want to know what is the backlink profile of those ranking in the top 5, okay? Well, we've got one here, it's a DR 16. 2 backlinks pointing at that page, very modest backlink profile. Okay, this is one we could knock out the top 5. So I'm interested in creating a page targeted at this keyword, doing a better job than these, and outranking them. So there are 2 things this AI strategy does to allow you to win. The first is to create better content than your competitors. It's all well and good that we've found keywords we can rank for. We still need to do a better job than our competitors in order to outrank them. And the second is we need to do that at scale. We've found keywords we can rank for, that's great, but the traffic potential is lower. Look at this example here, 1.1k. If we compare that to our original parent keyword, 31k traffic potential. So we need to do this at scale using AI so that we can stack those organic wins on top of each other and create a meaningful organic traffic pool to make sales from. So here's what I do. I create a custom GPT whose job it is to help me create these pages at scale using my SEO strategy. It's got some basic instructions around what it must ask me for. I'll show you where we find this information in a second in order to prompt it, and around how it should write, prioritizing readability and creating good quality content for SEO. It also has a collection page style guide. The way I create this is I find either a couple of collection pages that I've created that are really high quality, or indeed that other brands have created. I take them, put them into GPT, and ask it to create a writing style guide for me. It'll look something like this, and essentially it'll give you tone of voice, writing style, vocabulary, etc., so that the GPT is writing these at a really high level. Now here's the most important bit. We need to show hyper relevance to the target search term off-grid solar generator. When Google decides which page it deems as quality to rank for a certain keyword, it assesses that page's relevance and its ability to satisfy the search intent of the customer when they put into Google off-grid solar generator. And here's a great way to find out what Google knows about this keyword, okay? If we come to Google and we type in off-grid solar generator, we hit search. I use a Chrome extension called Keywords Everywhere. And the great thing about this is it pulls all the related keywords and all the long tail keywords that Google associates with this main search term. So it's not just showing relevance to off-grid solar generator, it's also all the terms that surround it, because that's how Google understands how relevant your page is to the semantic topics that are related to the main search term. And here's how I use that information to train my custom GPT so it creates content that Google sees as hyper relevant to the keyword and therefore beats out my competitors. So I've come into the custom GPT and I've told it I'm creating a new collection page. As per its instructions, by the way, you can get all of the prompts and the GPT itself. If you come and join Founders Clubhouse, you can join for free. There is a link below. But essentially what it's done now is it's asked me for the primary keyword, related keywords, and long tail keywords. So I've literally just dropped in off-grid solar generator, which you'll remember was our primary keyword. We find that here. And then also when I've come to Google and found the related keywords and the long tail keywords, I've popped those in as well. But you can see that it's also asked us for a heading structure and FAQs. And that's the last piece to make this page hyper relevant and really high performing when it comes to SEO. Now, when it comes to showing hyper relevance to Google, there are four main factors. The first is your URL slug. That's going to be the main keyword, nice and easy. The second is your title, again, the main keyword, super easy. The next most important is your heading structure. And so what we do in order to further optimize this page is I come to Gemini and I say I'm creating a collection page for the search term off-grid solar generator. Look at the pages that are currently ranking in positions 1 to 3 in Google for this search and suggest a heading structure for this collection page. I want 1H2 and 5H3s. Please also take into account the related and long tail keywords that I found. And what it'll give me back is a justified heading structure for this article. So you can see now my article is going to be written under the structure of the H2 is going to be find best off-grid solar generator for your home, RV or cabin. And then we've got choosing the best one for every scenario, reliable power for home backup and emergency use, comparing systems, kits and complete packages, and then the top brands, prices, special offers, right? So this is what Google understands to be the best heading structure to show relevance for the primary keyword. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that heading structure and I'm going to put it into my GPT to further increase the quality of the page it creates. So I'm going to drop that in there. And then the last thing is FAQs. So again, I've asked Gemini, can it give me the 4 most relevant FAQs based on the search term off-grid solar generators and the intent of the customer based on that search term. And they've given me 4 here. The first is how do I properly size an off-grid solar generator for my needs, e.g. home, backup, RV or cabin. Okay, great. I can grab those 4 as well and I can drop those into the FAQ section of what my GPT has asked me for. So I'll drop that in there. And now I'm ready to create the content. So I've hit go and this is what it's produced. You can see that it's followed the exact heading structure that I gave it, and it's also woven in all of the different related and long tail keywords it can into the copy like I instructed it. So now we've got a really hyper relevant page that Google's going to absolutely love. If we compare this, coming back to what we're trying to rank for, this was the listing here that made us believe this was a keyword we could rank for. DR16 ranking in about position 3. If I click onto the actual page, you can see here the title doesn't even hit the main keyword. There's next to no content on the page. These guys are not hitting the semantically related keywords. They're not hitting the right heading structure. We can absolutely blow them out of the water with what we've produced here. Now we can go ahead and execute this exact strategy across tens, if not hundreds of keywords and completely transform our organic traffic because Google is going to absolutely love the pages this creates. 2 bonus pieces to cap it off. Now GPT has created the content for my collection page. I've also asked it to create a unique image. That's because unique content is something Google loves and we want to have it on our page, not just generic photos that exist elsewhere on the internet. And so it's created this lifestyle image and it's also set up an alt tag for me using the main keyword because alt text, firstly, it's important to have them because if we don't, that's a poor hygiene factor that makes Google less trustworthy of our site in terms of sending traffic. And secondly, it is something that Google crawls and uses to understand what the page is about. So hitting the main keyword is important there. And finally, this strategy works so much better if you also pair it with creating blog content for informational keywords. An example here might be which is the best solar generator to power a camper van fridge. There will be hundreds of similar iterations to that you can go after, get traffic, and show expertise to Google. And I have a video that I've linked below that shows you exactly how to set up an AI process like this for doing exactly that.